My good friend Steve told me about this run put on by the Red Deer Packrats. He said it was a must-do event they called the annual Turkey Run. Over 20 Jeeps showed up for this 3-night camping event. They had so many Jeeps, they actually had to split up the runs. Chris, the host of the event, and people helping him cook, did a shorter trail so that they could get back early and prepare the food.
Gentlemen, let's do this!
There were rumors of a 50-foot stretch of muskeg along the trail, and these puddles were an ominous precursor to the winch fest that was probably coming up. One feature I find really neat are these dry rock beds that in the spring are probably raging streams, but as the spring runoff subsides, all that's left is the rocks that were carried down the mountainside and deposited along the water's route. Here Steve CJ is making easy work of the harder line on this section of trail. The people here are not necessarily from Red Deer. They came from various towns and cities across Alberta. Some of them know each other, some are family, husband, wife, and even kids. Some brothers, sisters, and friends, and then some like us are strangers. Jeepers are like family. We may not know each other at first, but you make new friends, look out for each other, and go away with lasting friendship.
What's happening? I just totally died, actually. Well, that ain't good. Nope, and it won't even turn over.
Why we
When I plug it in an arc, it doesn't light up in my hand. Oh, here, you do it.
No, you're under control. You're putting spit on it.
I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
What was wrong with it?
The
How this works.
wire coming from the alternator to the battery wasn't plugged in.
Oh,
Yeah, so it wasn't charging the battery as best we can figure, so she ran all the way up here just on battery and then it died. Yeah.
These two bridges were once wide, but now the decking is narrow. I wonder if that's to conserve money, limit passage, or just to add some fear when you watch them flex when you're driving over them. What happened? So this was a cool trail up until a few weeks ago. Now it's a road? At least there's some gorgeous mountain views to distract you.
Ridiculous.
This bridge wasn't finished, so they dropped a big excavator bucket on the end to prevent passage. Luckily, the stream that it spanned had dried up, allowing us to circumvent this obstacle. As we continued, we encountered the machinery previously used in the construction, signaling the transition from the road back to the trail. It's unfortunate that this trail is being taken over by logging or mining. We've lost enough trails in the past already, and this one has a whole lot of character. With the heavy equipment not far behind, this could be one of the last times we get to play on these features. I love the mountains. Every twist and bend along the trail brings yet another new, awe-inspiring vista. One of the steeper climbs of the day, some Jeepers chose the go-around.
How did this Jeep make that?
Hey, if you're enjoying this, give me a like so I know I'm going in the right direction. We haven't figured out how to make the camera portray the true steepness of these hills, and I didn't have a gauge, but if I had to guess, I would say it was easily over 30 degrees. It was very dry today, so that made it a whole lot easier. If you added just a bit of rain, it would be a whole different story on this slope.
What kind of dog is this?
Australian Shepherd.
Nice.
Yeah. He's good. It's my buddy.
Okay.
It's a Jeep and dog.
That peak in the distance is Evangeline Mountain and our destination for the day. Well, there it is, the 50-foot muskeg patch. We've had almost no rain this year, so this section is almost completely dry, and that suits me just fine. I tried to get somebody to go in the last little mud hole, saying it would make great video, but I got no volunteers. One thing about wheeling in the mountains is trails are almost never flat. The Jeep is always climbing or descending. When the trail gets really steep and difficult, there's usually bypasses that allow Jeeps and drivers of different abilities to enjoy a day on the same trail while still wheeling within their limits.
That's the one I was supposed to go up.
Crazy people always go straight.
You know, you'd be doing these if you had the other Jeep.
If you've watched my previous video, you'll recognize Nick's Jeep. Like me, he's always pushing to find the limits on the hardest sections. Watching him go really proves just how capable Jeeps are with very little modification and a really great driver. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with taking a bypass, because we all participate at our own level. Personally, I would never put a newer Jeep through the stuff like Nick does, but it sure is fun to watch and wheel with.
My Jeep likes to collect trees.
Anyone else coming up a steep spot? This is one of those spots. Without so much as a pause for a look, Nick drops over the lip on this descent. It almost looks like he drove off the edge of a cliff.
Wow, what comes up must go down. Hey, I'm holding. Wow, it is. Oh my good God.
LOL, that was fun. It's October and the leaves are off the trees. They now rub your paint and sound like fingernails on a chalkboard. You're welcome. I was looking for a line through the trees to this gap in the rock. Looking back, I think Steve was also. We haven't seen much of him yet, but this is Jeff, our leader for today's awesome trail and his nicely equipped TJ. Thanks for leading us on this epic adventure, Jeff. As each minute passes, the epic Rocky Mountain looms larger and more imposing in the horizon. Our journey draws even closer to our destination, and the anticipation of witnessing the impending epic views is nearly unbearable.
What was that to the right?
We made it to the final plateau. It's so peaceful up here. As you gaze around, all you see is towering mountains and dense tree canopies. Meticulously carved runoff path and trail we came in on being the only things that break up the sea of green. We stopped and had a small lunch while the kids and dogs played, enjoying being out in the best views nature had to offer. I spied a runoff chute going down the mountain. It's dry now, But I'm curious if a waterfall marks the beginning in the spring. That would be a sight to behold. In spite of all this beauty, it was impossible to overlook the harsh reality that we were indeed deep in the wild. Just a few miles from here, a recent tragedy served as a somber reminder of the untamed nature surrounding us. Only days prior, a husband, wife, and their trusty dog, all seasoned hikers and campers, fell victim to a harrowing encounter with a grizzly bear, leading to their demise. This heart-wrenching incident cast a stark and haunting shadow over the pristine wilderness, serving as an unsettling reminder of our vulnerability and insignificance in the face of nature's unyielding power. Jeeping, for each of us, is a journey defined by our unique motivations. Some among us are drawn to the thrill of adventure, the excitement of discovering new, uncharted places, and the tranquil embrace of nature's pristine beauty. For others, it's about witnessing the grace of wild animals in their natural habitat, an opportunity to connect with the untamed world around us. There are those of us who find their heart pounding with the adrenaline rush that comes from conquering demanding obstacles, skillfully navigating the roughest terrain and overcoming nature's challenges. It's a testament to our mettle and resilience. Yet beyond all of this, jeeping transcends being a mere activity. It's a way of life, a profound part of who we are. It unites us as an extended family, bound by our shared love for the off-road, the thrill of the trail, and the camaraderie that only fellow adventurers can provide. The anticipation of the next gathering, the next journey, it's something we eagerly look forward to, for it's in these moments that we truly find our home. The organizers really went all out preparing for this event. They had 2 deep-fried turkeys, cooked ham, potatoes, carrots, Caesar salad, gravy, buns, pumpkin pie, and the most awesome homemade apple crisp ever. It was evident that everyone was savoring the meal in blissful silence, their enjoyment expressed through contented smiles. As darkness descended on the campsite, a massive fire was built, big enough for everybody to gather around and stay warm. We didn't just jeep. We sat around the fire, reminiscing about the day, made new friends, told some stories, and had a few laughs. Chris, pictured here, was one of the organizers and the host. He took his group on a shorter run today so they could come back and prepare supper. Hats off to you guys. It was awesome. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe or hit the bell. And if you know ways to make it better, leave me a comment. We'll answer them, every one of them.
Making me a bum mover. Yeah. You know what would be great?